What's up, guys? What I would do from the video this morning. Talking about some of the wrestlers that I do feel sorry for due to their poor standard of booking in WWE. The way that they're being booked is just horrendous, to be honest. So the first name on that list, for me personally, is Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, obviously, you look at Shinsuke. I mean, even before when Vince McMahon was in charge of creative and everything, he was being booked like shit. And he had and the finish. Triple H hadn't booked him that much better. You know, his booking under Triple H has been, subpar to say the very least. I mean, the finish with Shinsuke, when he first signed for the company, 8 years ago, you kind of got that vibe that he would have multiple world title runs in WWE. He would hold, at least one of the either the WWE, one of the major titles, multiple times, but he hasn't exactly done that. I mean, yeah, he's had runs with mid card titles, but never had a run with the major titles. It's like, I mean, obviously, his recent run with the United States Championship. The United States, obviously, his run with the United States Championship this time it was incredibly lackluster. Obviously, they didn't have him do anything with the United States Championship and then lose the title back to LA Knight. Like, what was the point in that? The finish with Shinsuke Nakamura, he's one of those names that I look at and I think, if he was to sign for another promotion, he probably would get booked a hell of a lot better than he is being booked now in WWE. And he's a talent that would be used so much better, I think, in another company like AEW, New Japan, somewhere like that. He would get used way better than what he's being used now, than how he's being used now in WWE. It's the way that the way that he's being booked. It's like you look at his matches. Whenever he wrestles a match on WWE TV, there is next to no reaction whatsoever from the crowd. Like the fans are just not invested in Shinsuke Nakamura. At this point, I feel like he's a name that would, if he left WWE, I wouldn't be surprised. Because he's not getting booked very well. His reaction, he's not getting a great reaction from the fans. With someone like Shinsuke Nakamura, would you imagine that if he was being booked a hell of a lot better than he is, he would probably be getting a much better reaction from the crowd whenever he wrestles a match. But it's not surprised, the way that the fact that his booking has been so bad recently. I'm not surprised that he doesn't really get that much of a good reaction from the fans. It's not hard to see why there's next to no reaction. It's just ridiculous. So the next name on the list is Bayley. Now Bayley, they've not really done much with Bayley since they actually dropped the title to Nia Jax at SummerSlam last year. And then they gave her the title last year, but she didn't really do anything when she didn't have, her title reign wasn't that exciting. To be honest, it was somewhat lackluster. So I didn't really, so I didn't really have a problem with the fact that, and I don't think anybody really had a problem with the fact that Bayley dropped the title to Nia at SummerSlam last year, and obviously when that was the way they went with that. It felt like the right decision because you kind of thought that Nia Jax would actually have a better title reign than Bayley did, and in some ways she did. Bayley. Like, I'm not saying that her matches have been bad, but they've just not been like that spectacular. To be honest, again, the way they've booked Bayley as of the last few months hasn't been brilliant for the most part. I think it's like what she's someone that they could do so much with, like it's madness. I feel like since they had her kind of split up with Damage Control, they've not really done anything of note with her. Like she was so good when she was in Damage Control, and now since they've split her, like she split up with Damage Control, or they've split her up with Damage Control, she hasn't done it. She hasn't been that great. It has to be said. So next up, we talk about the Wyatt Six. Now, the Wyatt Six's debut last year was unbelievable. I was really excited. I think a lot of people were very excited about the Wyatt Six and how they were going to be booked and how they were going to be presented on TV. And, things just haven't gone well for them. They've been off TV for quite some time now. I know that it was previously reported that Bo Dallas, who obviously we all know as Uncle Howdy, had actually gotten injured. But and they have said it is believed that he's been medically cleared since the start of the year, so since sort of beginning of January. So I'm not entirely sure why the Wyatt Six haven't been on TV lately. I'm not, I know that there's been reports that there will be a program there with Alexa Bliss as well. Again, another superstar who's sort of fumbled since she's come back in January. Obviously, again, she's not currently on TV at the moment. Not entirely sure when she's going to be back. Are they going to be coming back at WrestleMania? Are they going to be coming back before then? You know, maybe is it a situation where now they've gotten the European tour out of the way, we are going to start seeing them on TV now? I don't know. Um, but things have really gone down south for the Wyatt Six. It's disappointing to see. I mean, obviously they had that big feud with the Final Testament. Obviously, a feud they lost, and since then they've not really. As I think obviously they were feuding with them, and then obviously Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain ended up getting released, which meant that obviously they disbanded um, the Final Testament. So obviously that I feel like that feud kind of somewhat came to a bit of a premature end a little bit. I feel like there was more to go, more that they could have done there, but unfortunately they did release Paul Ellering and obviously the Authors of Pain, a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, hopefully we do see the Wyatt Six back on TV soon. I think it would be, I think, well, hopefully we see Alexa back soon as well. The next one on my list is Andrade. Now, when Andrade returned at the Royal Rumble last year, I was pretty excited because I thought they were going, I thought he was going to be booked fairly well on the WWE main roster. But again, another wrestler who's put in has been absolutely subpar at best. You know, like it's just madness. I mean, the only decent feud he's had was when he had that series of matches with Carmelo Hayes last year. Apart from that, what has he actually done? If it's like Triple H has made that decision to bring Andrade back, and he's not done anything with. I only hope, because obviously we know that Miro has obviously re-signed, and we know that Malachi Black has obviously re-signed with WWE as well. Hopefully they don't fumble things with them. Hopefully they book both Miro and Malachi Black in a meaningful way. Hopefully it's not a situation where we're sat here in a year's time saying, well, Miro hasn't been booked all that well, or Malachi Black, hasn't been booked all that well. Hopefully we can sit here in a year's time and say, well, both men have absolutely been booked, very, very well, and have actually been, and obviously hopefully we can sit here in a year's time and say that the WWE made the right decision in bringing them back. Hopefully this isn't a decision that's gonna go down south. because they brought Andrade back, and I don't understand why they brought him back, because again, it's a wrestler they brought back, and he didn't do anything with them. It's like the fact like when Triple H brought back and like names like Emma and Tegan Knox, like you look at those names and you think, well, why did he bring them back? Because he didn't do anything with Emma when he brought her back. He didn't do anything with Tegan Knox when he brought her back. So what was the point in them even being brought back to the company only for Triple H to not do anything with? What was the point in Triple H bringing Andrade back to the company only to do nothing with him? He's not done. Like I don't think he's actually won a match this year yet. I mean, he's wrestled a handful of matches, but I don't know if he's actually won a match this year yet, to be honest. You know, I feel like Andrade is someone that should be getting booked like regularly on SmackDown, and should be appearing like regularly on SmackDown. I feel like he's a name that should be, in my honest opinion, Andrade is a name that should be on SmackDown every single week. You know, he's a name that deserves to be on SmackDown every single week. You know, he's one of the, he's someone that deserves more TV time and actually deserves better booking, better matches, better storylines. You know, I actually feel like when he was booked, when he was, in the part when he was in, when he was when he was teamed up with Selena Vega, he was booked a lot better than, and I feel like if they reunited him with Selena Vega, maybe things would be better for him. You know, I personally, I don't have a problem with Andrade himself. Um, I just feel like, he's obviously, they're not putting him in the way that they should be. And this is the problem with a lot of wrestlers on the main roster right now, is it feels like they're not being booked in the way that they should be. There are rumors that the reason Andrade hasn't been on SmackDown a lot recently is due to him breaking up with Charlotte Flair. I didn't even know they'd broken up. To be honest, I wasn't even aware of that. But it seems that they have broken up, and there is a rumor that is why he's not been on TV regularly, much recently. But I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't, I wouldn't expect that to be the reason. But in terms of other wrestlers, I think have been a somewhat disappointment, like Finn Balor. Now, Finn Balor, like again, another man who they could do so well with, like again, not being that great. Finn's like. I mean, even the Judgment, like the whole Judgment Day faction itself, it feels like the Judgment Day faction itself has gotten very stale right now. When it was the four of Rhea, Finn, Damien, and Dom, it was way better. That was when the Judgment Day was way better. But obviously, Dom and obviously we know that Finn, obviously Damien and Rhea are doing their own thing now. They're not in the Judgment Day anymore, and you've got Liv, Hell, JD, Harley to like no, I just don't enjoy watching the Judgment Day. I honestly don't. I mean, it's just crazy. What like how bad things been booked. I mean, obviously he was never someone who was never really high up on obviously Vince McMahon's radar, but it is what it is. I mean, obviously. I mean, let's face it, Finn Balor is one of those names that probably isn't going to be main event in a PLE anytime soon. Let's say that. So one of the other names that I kind of feel, sorry for is Austin Theory. Now, Austin Theory is a name that WWE really haven't really done much with. I feel like if they split, I feel like they should kind of split up him and Grayson Waller now. Their partnership, they're not great. A-Town Down Under. I mean, they haven't done anything that great since losing the tag team titles last year. I still don't really get why they had A-Town Down Under win the tag titles. Like, to me, it was one of the more crazy booking decisions, and I think, I mean, their title reign wasn't exactly Ray by all means. It wasn't one of the better title, or more significant, tag title reigns we've seen, but there you go. I do feel sorry for a lot of, I feel sorry for Drew McIntyre as well. Like, Drew McIntyre, again, I don't know, like, why they've done with Drew versus Damien at WrestleMania 41 this year. I feel like that's a bit of a step down for Drew. I honestly feel like they could have given Drew they could have done a better match there than Drew versus Damien. I mean, I've got nothing against Damian Priest. I'm not saying Damian Priest is shit, but I'm saying that Drew McIntyre deserves better in my honest opinion. He's he's one of the top guys in the company. He deserves better than to be booked in a match with Damian Priest. I don't think there are really that many people who are genuinely excited for that match at Mania. It's not one of those matches that those WrestleMania matches that people are looking at and thinking, yeah, that's what and are very excited about it. I know there is a match that's been pulled that could be getting pulled because of an injury to a particular one wrestler. I don't know what match that is. There's not really been any kind of info on what match will be getting pulled from the WrestleMania card, but all we know is that there is one match that will be getting pulled from the WrestleMania card due to a wrestler being injured, which we don't know who it is yet or what match it is. I think this is the thing with in WWE. It's sad seeing the way that some names are being booked. It feels like there are a lot of names that should be getting booked way better than they are. And I have mentioned some of those names in this list in my listing today. I feel like as I said, there are it is sad. It's like I just feel like with certain wrestlers, like WWE, just don't really have any major sort of creative plans for them at the moment. That's what my thinking is. It's just sad, really, seeing how badly some wrestlers are being booked, and some of them do deserve to be being booked better. Shinsuke, Nakamura, Andrade. As I said towards the start of the video, I think we all know that if Shinsuke Nakamura signed for another promotion, he would probably get used a lot better than he is being used in WWE. Andrade is definitely a name that, as I've said, deserves more TV time and I feel and this is my personal opinion, my honest opinion, I do feel that Andrade deserves to be on TV every week, and he is a name that should be on SmackDown every week. Obviously I am excited for Ray Phoenix's debut tonight. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a good feud. Ray Phoenix versus whoever he's facing tonight. That'd be interesting. I'll be interested to see who we get in that who we see in that match. Who is it gonna be? Bear with me a moment. I'm coming. Saturday. No, I don't want Saturday. What you had a meeting today with Margaret? Uh, uh, maybe. Alright, in Modern Warfare. That was just one of my parcels being delivered. That's what that was. But as I said, as I was saying, I do feel sorry for certain names in the WWE at the moment. The way they're being booked. And, there are other names that deserve better. As I'm saying. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you with another one soon. Bye bye.